Hello, RSC people. We are getting back into some RSC action tonight with your second tier of the offseason. We're going into Challenger, repping a little bit higher than Prospect like we saw last time, getting some Lunar versus Solar All-Stars here. On the desk with me tonight, I've got Mr. Dondo RF. He's going to be kicking it with me for the first time ever. Dondo, how are you doing?
I'm doing real good, boss. A little bit nervous, but I'm gonna do my best to keep the stream going, and I'm excited to watch some Rocket League tonight. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, my man, I am absolutely excited to be back on the mic. It's been killing me to not cast. Actually has been hurting living in a hotel for this last month or so, getting ready for work and whatnot. But on the desk with us producing, or sorry, not on the desk, Mr. Producing behind the desk, Mr. Tazlian, GOAT of Media this season, absolutely carrying production. Thank you, my man. Big shout out to you. But let's get into these, a little bit of a recap here, actually. Let's talk about our Challenger All-Stars for Season 18. We saw dates from Slice Baby, Levi Bullrush from Abyss, NJ111_ from Toucans, and then Dalton and Mayor H from Penny Patrol, and Dylan36 from Cryas. Absolutely star-studded lineup. Those guys played super well this season, and big shout-out for them. But Dondo, why don't you just kind of recap for the audience here what our MVP situation looked like?
Of course, boss. So for the MVP on the Lunar side, we do have Dalton from Penny Patrol. And for the Solar side MVP and the overall MVP, we have Dates coming out of Slice Baby.
And I'm really glad we're sitting here because now we get to talk a little bit about a bit of a substitution. We're talking about the main man Dates. Overall MVP had a bit of a scheduling conflict, couldn't play tonight. So instead, we're going to get Grobber22. And as we pull up these player stats, Dondo, is there anything that's really jumping out to you from this sheet here?
I will say, coming from the same division and conference as Dalton and Mayor over on the Lunar side, I will say they are very solid players with a very good track record of going to the finals. And with them already having some built up chem, and with Lucas RL, aka Dylon36, I feel like they'll have a solid team overall, a very offensive orientated team. What do you think about the Solar side tonight?
For Solar side, even though we do have a substitute, a bit of a wild card here. Grobber22 having to fill, quite frankly, some pretty big shoes. Filling in for Dates, who was a 101 RPV, which is absolutely insane. We've still got Levi Bullrush, 91.4 RPV, and we've still got NJ111_, who not only had an 84.4 RPV, but was on the team that actually took down the Penny Patrol. I believe it was a 4-2 series, and got their chip, so we're looking at a Chally champion. This is still no slouch of a team by any means whatsoever, and I think getting into the matchup, we're going to see some incredible Rocket League being played. But before we jump into the field, Dondo, do you have a prediction for our viewers tonight?
Kind of backtracking on what I said previously, even though NJ is the part of the team that was the champion of Challenger this season, I do feel like with Dalton and Mayor playing together the whole season and already having that good chem, and with the hard hitter like Lucas joining their team, I do feel like they will hedge out this series. Probably like 4-2 would be my prediction tonight. Do you have any different opinions? Or
I really hate agreeing with people on the desk. I don't want to just, bandwagon one team, but Mayor obviously played insane in that series. And even though NJ111 got the championship, Mayor looked like they could have potentially been the MVP of the whole thing. They had like 6 saves in a single game, I'm pretty sure, which is absolutely bonkers. 700 points, 800 points, somewhere in that ballpark. So it's hard for me to not to root or not to expect Lunar to take this 4-2, but that's where I'm at. I'm agreeing with you. It's got to be 4-2. But we can sit here and speculate all day. We can talk about who's going to take home, this proverbial all-star MVP. But let's the only way you can really figure it out is if we watch some finals match or some all-star matches here. God, I'm so prepped for the final season 19. It's crazy. Whole season ahead.
Just a little bit.
Well, looks like we're going to get a kickoff here between Levi Bullrush and Lucas RL, otherwise known as Dylon36 for those of you who are looking at the all-star sheet there. It's going to go in favor of Levi. That bounces high. Mayor takes control, but NJ111 is there to pop it back. This is going to go off the backboard from Grobber. Great pass straight down for NJ. Oh, no, it's wide left. That could have been the opening goal within only 15 seconds. The pass was there, and Dondo, my man, especially this early on in the game, you cannot give up those. What is that shot? It goes!
Oh, man, they just kind of let that slip in. The goal, it looks like they got caught on their back feet. Lucas went up for it, but Mayer couldn't recover in time to get that save.
Well, I was going to throw you the question and be like, Dondo, you can't give up early opportunities, but the fact that they took a second shot so quickly, this offense seems to be keeping the pressure that you would expect from an all-star team, and they don't look any bit the slower without Dates. How are you feeling about this Solar team already?
It seems like they already have a very solid offensive lineup going through this match, but I will say we don't know defensively how well they can defend against the onslaught of Mayer and Dalton teaming up together, and we might get a chance here with Dalton missing that shot, or it gets saved by G. Robber. Mayer going up for the contest, goes into the corner. G. Robber gets a good 50 on that play, and I feel like it's very even right now, minus the first goal. I will say it's a very solid lineup overall. It's a really good all-star match so far.
For sure. Lucas is able to deflect it away from the pressure. Dalton reads it off the post. It's going to be dropping off the backboard. They're already up. They elevate too quickly. Mayer's going to need to get a touch here. That's on target. Can NJ scoop it and push it out? They do. Levi Bullrush is going to be able to take this up the wall. They elevate, they lift it, they push it across the field. And, I thought Mayer was going to be able to get the shot there, but NJ, looking like the champion that we expected them to be, was able to turn quickly. And Dondo, you just love to see a player be able to react so quickly and so well on defense.
Yeah, this season in Challenger, there's so many good players coming out. Like, it almost felt like, we were playing in vet sometimes because there were just so many fast and overall solid players this season as we see G. Robert try to make a shot. We got Lucas coming in, hitting into the corner. Unfortunately, no, never mind. He goes for the shot, gets blocked. And then Mayer's coming up, doesn't get that contest. Levi going, maybe they're trying to do some cool plays with the pinch right there. Levi gets a good block while Lucas is trying to take it up the wall, and they can't get it past that defense. It really feels like for the Lunar side, they just can't really get any offensive pressure going. While there is an open shot possibly, no, there is not. It's very neck and neck, even though they kind of let that first goal in, boss. Do you think it's going to be a close series the whole time, or do you think one team might edge out over the other?
Man, I really hope so. You love to see good Rocket League being played on both sides in a really even series. It really just extends a lot of very watchable Rocket League for the viewers. But all in all, we know that either of these teams can pop off. They're all-stars for a reason. So this could easily turn into a blowout in one side's favor or the other. We'll just kind of have to pay attention here. As Levi passes up for Grobber. Grobber gets the redirect. Oh, and my.
Nobody's
the pass to boom shot working just like it always should. I mean, Chally, that you don't expect that much power from, Grobber coming in. That's 3/4 of the pitch, left-hand side, out of reach from anybody else. It's just such a well-placed, accurate shot, Dondo.
Yes, it is. And, coming in, this is obviously an all-star game. This isn't in the season, so we don't know who may or may not have been warming up this, before the match tonight. Some people, this is probably just them coming in cold. We just have to wait and see if they build up that momentum throughout the series. As Dalton shoots, and it's just a little bit wide. G. Robert's going to try to take control in the corner while Mayer gets a good 50. It's slowly going to go back over to the blue side, and Dalton gets a really good clear over to the orange half. Good 50 in the midfield. Mayer's going for a double touch, and just misses as it gets cleared out by G. Robert. We're going to see go back to the midfield, and it's just a really good series of Rocket League, boss. There's not much I could really say. All 6 good players on the pitch, and I feel like, in any given Rocket League match, it can go either way with 50 seconds. They can come out and get 2 goals to tie it up for an OT. It's just, they got to get that offensive pressure on the blue side.
100%. I'm in agreement there. Oh, they stuff it through the last line. I don't think Who was that on the goal line? That was NJ111. I don't think they were expecting that to be shoved underneath. Levi Bulrush could not get there for the touch, so that's just going to roll on in. We're within 1 goal. We see some life out of Lunar here. And this is, I mean, we both were in agreement. They were going to go potentially 4-2 in the series is what we thought. But like you said, we don't know who was really warming up. I believe this Solar side, from the way they're playing, right there, NJ111 getting another goal. They're at 2 already on the day. I am actually, you know what? I'm a little taken aback. I probably should have not doubted Grobber, because quite frankly, if you're elected to an all-star position, you've got to be a solid player, and there's 3 saves already. 1 goal, 3 saves has been a tremendous play for them so far. Dono, this is, it's insane.
It just seems like defensively that Lunar can't keep up with the onslaught that Solar's throwing their way. They're just going to have to find out how to get that good defensive rotation in play, because the 2 of the goals that have been let in have been kind of give-me's with an open net. So we just kind of have to go through the series and just hope that the Lunar side can figure out their defensive rotations. As this match comes to the close, we can go ahead and check out the stats of the players once this comes through.
Yeah, as we're looking at these player stats, Dono, I mean, Grobber, 71 RPV coming into tonight's matchup. I didn't expect them to be MVP of Game 1 right off the bat. I mean, 1 goal, 3 saves, kind of the unpredictable hero, It's something that you love to see, somebody coming in and just saying, hey, I know this wasn't originally my spot, but I'm here to win. And all the more shout out to Grobber. We'll see if that translates, though, into Game 2, as we probably will see Lunar make a little bit more of a concerted effort on defense for sure.
Yeah, it's just, you look at the Lunar side, they have, 7 shots, but only 1 goal. They do have 4 saves on the other side. Defensively, they're just doing really good on the Solar end versus, on the Solar side, they have 6 shots, but only 1 save. So how many of those shots, if they were actually on target, would have conceded a goal? We're just gonna have to see Lunar pick up that, the defensive power that I know they can do.
Well, for sure. And I mean, like you pointed out, 7 shots. It's not like Solar had, so many more shots. I mean, they had actually 1 less. They just were able to convert more, and their defense stifled out any opportunity from the Lunar side. I mean, 3 saves from Grobber was insane. We'll see, or it looks like they're waiting for us to tell them to go. All-Stars, you would think that they'd be ready to just go kick butt again.
Yeah, maybe.
All right. There we go.
I don't mess this up at all.
Look, if they get to stall and have a good time, I'm going to stall and have a... I'm kidding. Grobber splits the 50. Dalton's already putting a shot on. That's high, but it's cleared away into the ceiling. Levi Bulrush is able to keep them alive. Elevates to redirect that, pushing it across the pitch. Lucas catches. Tries to elevate it past Grobber. Grobber intercepts it. Can't really follow it up, but is able to stall it on the blue half of the pitch. Levi Bulrush puts a shot on. Not dangerous enough as Dalton's able to take control, push it against the wall. That's off the backboard. Could be a shot. Grobber can't land to take the second follow-up, and instead Mayer's getting a shot. No! Levi swats it away! Dondo, oh God, I thought the counterattack was there, ever present, but I mean, Levi elevated in such a way that you would expect him not to be in Chally, but this could be a player you can see in Vet in the upcoming seasons.
Oh yeah, Levi, coming, being an MVP, sorry, being an all-star, he was also a finalist in the 2v2 league, so he is a very solid player. And I expect him to possibly get promoted to rival and do good. I will say the Lunar side is already looking better. It seems like Mayor H and Dalton switched to cars they're more comfortable with, because I do believe they were using the Rocket Pass car, and we can already see how much better their offensive pressure has been this series.
What is the Rocket Pass car this season?
Honestly, don't know the name of it.
I don't know either. I saw it on the main screen for about 2 seconds, and then I was like, all right, now I gotta get in this lobby.
But no, it doesn't look like it's a good car. I think it's a breakout hitbox, and knowing Mayor and Dalton, they are Octane hitbox players. So with them switching their cars out, hopefully they will, give us a show tonight. As they throw it into the corner, Grobber is going to take it, try to get it past Dalton. He's taking it down the field. Hopefully Mayer can go ahead and contest it, and he does by the skin of his teeth. Gets that save. Mayer will continue to take that up the wall, maybe try to get a pass, but NJ bumps him away. Uh-oh, no. Lucas cannot get that over the player to try to get a pass midfield as Mayer gets the save into the corner. And it just, right now, Lunar's looking like a better team already. Do you think they've changed up anything, or do you think it's the placebo effect of the cars? What are you thinking, boss?
I mean, they're not able to translate their offense as well as you would like to see. Their chemistry is just not there. They've only got one shot on. What a fake by NJ111 to let that just drop in under the goalie. Insane chip shot. But their defense is definitely transferred into a more malleable state, more of a bend don't break moment, because quite frankly, I mean, even though they've taken 5 shots, they've only given up 1 goal. Last game they gave up 8 shots, let in 3 goals. So they're already doing significantly better on defense. They just need to find a way to capitalize on the counterattack opportunities they've been getting and try to get. Never mind. Oh, that's wide. No, it's off top. What is going on?
It is. Oh my goodness! These shots going in should not be going into challenger level.
Grobber?
No. Grobber got the lucky redirect for the goal.
I thought Grobber hit that into Dalton, and that just redirected in. Lucky. I didn't think Grobber chip-shotted that in with precision. Holy cow. Grobber literally looking like, hey, you may have not voted for me the first time around. Can we have a recount? Because I feel like I probably should have been All-Star.
He's really showing that he may not be able to fill Date's shoes, but he will be noticed in this All-Star match.
I gotta look this up real quick. I gotta see what their what the votes were and how close they were at this point.
Honestly, I wasn't a caster at the end of the season, so I wasn't really looking at stats too much. But I do know that Grobber is a very solid player because he was a part of the Squalls team last season that went to the finals. You know, he's not a slouch when it comes to the challenger tier.
They weren't too. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, you go ahead.
My bad. They weren't actually that far behind. They were not exactly like, it's not like 2 votes would have changed it, but it was definitely, they received a solid amount of votes. I believe they were, as I'm looking at this, 5th in Solar. So they weren't at the bottom of their voting, but they definitely didn't get the spot. And quite frankly, you gotta wonder, looking at this matchup here, if Grobber likely didn't just become God, as soon as the season ended. So, maybe we need a recount. Maybe we need a recount here. Speaking of Grobber, putting it off the backboard, Dalton and Lucas pinch it into no man's land. That goes over Grobber. Lucas has control. No, it's going to drop back to Mayer. Mayer puts the shot on it. Oh! Grobber, Himothy personified, swats it away. And Hondo, 25 seconds left. I don't know if there's anything that this Lunar side can do besides forcing a 0-second goal situation.
Yeah, I mean, the good thing about Rocket League is anything can happen any given moment, but it is a little hard trying to fight that uphill battle with now only 10 seconds left. As Levi puts a shot on the net, it does look like it will go to the Solar side again this match. And going back to Grobber, it kind of begs the question of, like, if Dates was on this lineup, with him having an over 100 RPV this season, would this have been, a slaughter? For the Lunar side tonight. It's just, it's crazy to see how well they are doing with a substitution.
Well, and I had the luxury of working with Dates and the Chally team a little bit this season and seeing really how they played, kind of following them very closely. And I knew that Dates was going to be one of the most mechanical people we've seen in Chally for a long time. But to see that they get removed, and we talked about the chemistry that we kind of figured Lunar would come in with and how nice it would be, that it would be quite the flip or quite the turn of events. But already we see Solar is up 2-0. Grobber, MVP of this game as well, back-to-back games already. This is definitely some statement wins. I know these two teams are probably, I will say from personal experience, some All-Stars play for fun, some All-Stars play for the dub. So, we'll see if Grobber continues this dominance to these next 2 games here.
Yes, I mean, I will say that Lunar did put up a lot more saves than they did in the previous match, so I feel like they're trying to find their flow a little bit. And we'll just, going into this next series, see if they get those. I don't want to call them lucky, but Grobber had that insane redirect, so we'll see if they can try to capitalize on their own shots to try to take this series
Looks
as
like
we're
we're getting
getting.
a. Oop, my bad, my bad, my bad.
No, no, it's fine. It's fine. I was gonna say as the kickoff goes, we're gonna see it go to the corner as NJ clears it out. Lucas tries to get it past to Dalton, but it doesn't seem like he has enough boost to try to go for that. Mayer gets it over, and Lucas is probably gonna take that from the midfield. And then it's just obviously the first 20 seconds. We're just gonna have to see if they can try to capitalize on their offensive possessions because they had quite a few good shots on the back end of the Lunar, or not, sorry, Lunar had good shots on the back end of the last series. Hopefully they can just capitalize on those this time. Do you think they should change up anything to try to help them out, boss, or do you think they just trying to figure out how they need to go about things?
They need to be more supportive in the second man. We just saw early on an incredible pass that dropped down to Levi Bullrush, or not Levi Bullrush, sorry, the drop down to Lucas RL. Lucas waited for the ball to come down, which gave the goalie far too much time to turn around and contest it. Outside of this deep shot that, I mean, there was a touch there. The ball turned to an orange trail, so they got a little lucky there. They just need to be elevating and taking these passes in stride instead of letting them develop for far too long. It's overcooking, and it's getting burnt. It's getting killed by the goalie constantly. So we'll see how that translates into the next couple minutes of this game here as Levi waits patiently, lets NJ111 intercept that, but that's going to be center, dropping down. Grobber, though, uncontested, is able to walk this to the wall. Lucas is up in the air, going for the flip reset, gets the flip. No, they don't. That might have just been a flip that they saved. 1.5 seconds still might not have elapsed there. Dalton gets it past NJ111, tries to recover, can't. Levi Bullrush has control. That's centered for Mayer. Mayer passes it. No! Dalton is deleted, removed, and absolutely murdered, but it's not going to matter as Lucas RL has a wide open net shooting from point blank range. I mean, even if they were using smoothbore as the founding fathers intended, I don't know if they could have missed that shot.
Boss, sometimes I hate you and your weird dad jokes, but that was a very solid play. It seems like Lunar is trying to be a little bit more patient and take their time with their possessions, and I feel like that could be the game changer coming into the series. As we see Lucas possibly getting this clear, and he does. We'll try to get a 50 with Levi. Gets past to Dalton in the midfield, and Robert is there to save that shot. Levi gets it clear. Mayer's gonna have to try to fight back to get a contest, and Dalton does not get the save, and they are just, I will say, tactical faking the ball right now to get it out of their half. 50 in the midfield, Levi will take the shot, and Lucas gets the save. I keep saying it, maybe because I don't have a lot to say as a newcaster, but this is just a very close series. These players, they're just doing the best they can, getting really good defensive and offensive pressure on the ball, and we're just gonna have to, we're gonna have to find out what they're capable of.
Well, and like we've seen so far, it's a total flip of the script because, Lunar last game, they had like 1 or 2 shots for the entire game. We're only halfway, well, almost 3 minutes through this 5-minute game, and they've got 4. They're looking a lot better. They're getting the ball off their back third very well, and they're definitely capitalizing on more offensive opportunities and working more as a team. So it's definitely, I don't want to call it just raw aggression that's paying off, but it's definitely, like right here, Lucas RL catches it, gets another goal, exploits the open net. They're finding a formula that works, and they are absolutely cooking this defense.
Once again, coming from the same division as Penne, I know that Mayer and Dalton definitely are, very fast players, and I'm from the 1 or 2 times I have played against Lucas, I do feel like he can keep up with their speed. We just kind of they have to find that chem. Rocket League is not as simple as, joining and, getting good teammates. You have to formulate plans and play styles that work for everybody. So, it's good to see them, instead of fighting that uphill battle the whole series, getting a couple goals in, sitting comfortably. you know, maybe that's the change of pace they needed to, you know, try to figure out their own game style. You know, as Grobber takes possession of this ball, he's going to try to pass it the midfield to NJ. It's a little behind him, unfortunately. He's going to leave it so Lucas can take that up the wall. And then it's on net, but Grobber gets the save. You know, it's like a whole new team's out there, boss.
It definitely does. They're playing. It's not. It's like they all handed the remotes to somebody else in their franchise. They said, "Hey, rival player, take this. Give me the dub." But this is really what we expected the series to look like: stifling defense from the Lunar side, and absolute punishment on the counterattacks. But Dalton, you know, trying to contribute there, is cut out completely. This is centered. It's dropping into a viable spot. Grobber slots it to the right-hand side. With only 2 goals separating the Lunar and Solar sides right now, there is still a chance on the board that we could see a comeback and potentially OT. But with the way Lucas Arrel has been playing, I mean, Dondo, 727 points, 3 goals, 4 saves. It's kind of hard to see that happening.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, 30 seconds, there is a possibility for 2 goals to happen, but they're going to have to be very critical in their movements and their shots. You know, but they have kept it on the offensive half for the past 10 seconds or so. Let's see if they can keep up that pressure to possibly have Lunar slip up as NJ tries to get it past midfield, but it just falls short. Grobber with the good contest. Mayer, you know, fakes the hit so Lucas can get a nice clear. And it does seem like this is going to come to a close, and Lunar is going to take this victory with possibly a takeaway, but no, Grobber got a save. It's, you know, it's going to be back and forth. You know, it's in the opposite direction that we probably thought it was going to be. We thought Lunar might come out swinging a lot harder, considering that Mayer and Dalton have been on the same team the whole season. But Lucas, you know, just showing why he deserves that all-star spot right there. With 749 points.
100%, and you know, Lucas definitely popped off. 3 goals, but Mayer really shining as well. 3 assists to support Lucas's 3 goals. Definitely is opening up the field and exposing opportunities that they're able to exploit much easier than they did in the first 2 games. So for sure, I mean, like we saw it twice. Like the ball dropped within the goalie's box, and Lucas was able to say, "Hey, I could clearly put this in. Like, there's nobody here. This is easy." So whatever they're doing, I don't know if they're just contesting the third man far too quickly for Solar to really regain or really formulate a good defensive strategy, but it's paying off, and we'll see going into match number 4 what it's going to look like and how this Solar side is going to respond, as it looks like we're going to be getting a kickoff from from Grobber. And why is my screen not moving? There we go.
It's gonna be Dalton.
Grobber and Dalton. I was getting real nervous. My screen froze for a second, and I'm like, buddy, don't make me pull out the switch to watch this. Ball rolls up the sidewall. Mayer redirects at center. They are already contesting the third. Nobody's back in case that becomes a dangerous play, but they are pushing up constantly. Dalton slaps it in from off the backboard touch. Holy cow. You know, I talked about potentially more aggression, and Donna, we just saw it right there. They had all 3 of their players in the front third for like a good 10 seconds.
Yeah, Dalton, I feel like he's just trying to show that 60 points he had last game was just a fluke. You know, he's in the All-Star ballot for a reason. You know, he's going to show that prowess that got him and Mayer both to the finals against NJ. You know, Lucas is going to try to take this up the wall. Dalton's going to clear back to the wall. He's going to try to take control of it as he misses, unfortunately. Levi's going to come in with the shot. It's just a little bit wide. Lucas is going to take control, possibly do something with it, but it gets a little bit away from him. You know, it's... Once again, you know, the teams are coming out. They're changing their strategies. They're trying to play around the players that they probably haven't played with at all this season. You know, they're just trying to adapt to the situation, you know, against, you know, some of the best players in the tier. You know, boss, it's just, you know, it's an interesting series, and I unfortunately haven't been able to be a part of the All-Star ballot, but I can just see how hard it is to adapt to new players.
For sure, and definitely, you know, it's really tough with to say, hey, without Chem, go out there on the pitch,
make some plays happen. You don't know how these people are going to formulate their offensive opportunities, but these are all stars for a reason. These are guys who really know how to play around the people that they're with and know how to definitely make it work. So I'm expecting to see some solid plays, especially as we get further into the series. Some more maybe deep passing plays. It's kind of hard with Chally. Chally's kind of a weird spot between being able to hit the ball consistently and being able to see that you have teammates. So, ooh, what a shot from Dalton, slapping it down. The goalkeeper can't push it away. And sorry, Dondo, I'm not trying to like poop on Chally, but
yeah.
I've seen how y'all play.
Chally is that weird middle ground where it feels like you have some of the, craziest mechanical players in the tier, but there also is that back half where you're like, should they really be doing that at this level? So, it's very hard to kind of gauge, gauge a player's skill level. Chally's a lot of players trying to figure out their own play style and figure out how to, work around different players and, of all kinds.
Ooh, this drops back into the corner. NJ111 elevates. They've got control of the ball. They're going for the carry. Oh, my. I actually thought they might have been able to lift that over the defense. No. Levi recovered. What is going on with the shot opportunity? That should have easily been a goal. All three players from Lunar's side unable to make contact with it, and instead, caught off guard by the lack of contact on their shot. They just had to land and awkwardly try to regain, but Mayer, speediest player on the pitch apparently, decides, hey, I can recover and swat that away. I don't need 4 seconds. We're good.
Once again, Challenger, you get plays like that, and you're like, man, should the ball really be in front of the net that long? And then you get the play, Mayer gets that really speedy recovery to then save after that mess up. That was a perfect analogy for what we just talked about, this Challenger tier, as Lucas just misses as Grobber gets the save. Okay. It's just, very intense moments, whether it's mechanical skill or it's people messing up, as Dalton gets the double touch from Lucas's pass. It's, once again, you see this very mechanical play right here, and then you saw what happened on the back end. It's hard to tell, skill level wise in Challenger.
I'm just saying, somebody not named Basradala needs to make a graphic that says, instead of DJ regained, it needs like a really bad Microsoft pen, like scribbling out DJ and putting in Dalton, because to go from 60 points last game to having 3 goals, almost 650 points through only like 3 minutes of this game is nuts. It's insane to see that kind of a flipped, but it's what we really expect from your All-Stars. Ooh, a little bit of miscommunication actually from Mayer and Dalton as they collide. Dalton recovered though, puts it in the spot where Levi Bullrush can't put a follow-up shot. This is going to bounce high off the backboard. Lucas is there, looking center for Dalton. Dalton gets the read on Grobber, but can't get it past NJ111. So Mayer is going to need to play this safe. They do. They stall it. That's an incredible redirect pass, but it's cut out, and now Mayer, wide open on the back end of the pitch, can possibly set themselves up for a great counter-attacking opportunity. And Dondo, with 3 goals already being scored in favor of Lunar, I don't see Solar climbing out of this pit here.
Yeah, it's probably going to go Lunar's way, but Dalton just came to show out. Once again, going back on, Dalton only having 60 points last game, it just goes to show that in the game of Rocket League, anybody can pop off at any given moment. And maybe Dalton just found his groove this game, but he is definitely giving us a show. As Mayer gets this clear to possibly get another goal, and Lucas with that amazing redirect just, cinches the game, even though it was already probably going to go to Lunar. That's just an amazing shot to end off this game. If they keep this pressure up and they keep this kind of gameplay up, it looks like it might weigh into Lunar's side, because, the first couple of matches, it was a very close match. Only a score difference of like 1 or 2, but these past 2 games have been, 3-4 goals unanswered. Solar just can't seem to, I'm not sure if it's the offensive pressure that's not giving the opportunity to get back on defense quick enough, or just defensively they've been kind of crumbling under the pressure that Dalton this game has given and Lucas gave last game.
For sure. And we talked about the prediction being 4-2 in favor of Lunar and Dondo. It would be wild to be right with Solar getting both their wins back to back to start and then finding themselves literally hitting the buzzsaw of a well chemistry Lunar team that might finally be warming up like you were talking about. So this is definitely something that I don't even want to really like hash out these stats anymore. I just want to get into game 5. I don't even want to like look at what's going on. I just want to go, hey, let's see some more high level Chally gameplay here, which we're gonna get. Dalton and Levi Bull Rush getting the kick. I think that's the kickoff last time, right?
I believe it was G Robber and Dalton last time.
Oh, you know what? You're probably right. Mayer getting the read, though. They're already off the sidewall, looking for that off the backboard touch. Lucas tries to stop it for their teammate. Holy cow, they are looking for the passes. Lucas might slip that in. No, Grobber clears it away, and Levi is going to take the deep shot attempt. Far too much time on that shot needing to develop, so Dalton is able to clear that away. A little bit of phlegm in the throat here.
Everybody's getting sick.
Dude, I don't know what's going around, but there's definitely something going around right now. Grobber splits the 50. Mayer looks for the center pass to Lucas. Lucas catches this, has control, tries to flick it. No, Levi cutting it out. And this is kind of a little bit more like we saw from game 1, Dondo. These teams really just hitting it back and forth.
Yeah, unfortunately, as being a player in Challenger, there is a gap where people just love to bang the ball around, and if you just can take control and take control and try to be a little bit more patient on the play, you might get a couple more chances at the goal line. As in this defensive half of the Solar side, they're just keep putting on that pressure. Mayer possibly getting the 50 here, while Grobber puts it back in the corner to possibly give a shot, but Dalton clears it out. It's just quite back and forth. Once again, looking like a lot closer of a game. Lunar came out and scored almost immediately last series to kind of give them that momentum. But I feel like, the series being 2-2, Solar wanting to prove something. I feel like the first goal, having that momentum, might carry over to the win this match, boss.
Well, and I think you're right. I think both these teams realize that they're currently tied 2-2. They know it's a best of 7. They know that realistically, giving up a goal here with the way this game is played out could spell disaster and could cause them to, be looking at elimination the next game. So they are going to be playing, and they have been playing, very timid. They're keeping it as close as they can. They're not really doing anything that's extending either team all the way down the pitch. Unfortunate touch from NJ111 as that bounces crossbar and prevents it from going in. That could have been the dagger we're looking for here. Levi's got control. Mayer and Dalton, the Penne Patrol, 2-man block, swats that away. Mayer's got control. No, Mayer does not have control. They are unable to follow it up with a second touch, and instead, now Lucas finds themselves in the back third, playing in a 1v2 situation off the sidewall. Mayer puts it off the backboard, going to the sidewall again. That's going to roll here. Grobber pushes it into Dalton, and Dalton has control. No goals scored here, which is insane considering the last 2 games have had 4 goals scored combined between the 2 teams each. So it's kind of nuts. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, once again, Rocket League is an ever-changing game, so you can have amazing pressure one game, but especially in a series like this, you're going to try to adapt and play, to your team's strengths, and also try to exploit the other team's weaknesses to counteract not getting 4-0'd like they did previously, which seems to be working as there's only a minute 30 left with 0 goals. Mayer's going to try to get a shot on, but it's a little bit wide as NJ unfortunately puts it in front of the net, but recovers and clears that out. Dalton possibly getting a 50. They both do a tactical fake as Lucas clears it to the wall.
Can we just take a second to talk about a Chally player just went for a flip reset?
You'd be surprised. There's quite a few players that can do that, just not consistently.
Bro, if I could flip reset, I would actually not be bad at this game.
And once again, going back to the varying skill levels of Chally, you're going to have those players that are super mechanical, off the top of my head, I know there's a couple players like D Kami, like Dates. Dates isn't like mechanical in the sense that he can do flip resets and all that very consistently, but he can control the ball and put it where he wants to very consistently. So
well, that's going to pay off because like accuracy works at any tier. Realistically, like if you're a Chally, rival, or vet, you know, being accurate. I mean, shoot, even being accurate in elite is going to be extremely helpful.
Oh yeah, for sure. The extra mechanics can definitely help, but overall consistency is what I do feel like challenger players, you know, including myself, do struggle with the most. You know, and not, you know, going to the scores or anything. You know, Lucas and
don't
hit some crazy
even
shots.
Go back to commentary. That man just tried to doomsday dish a pass. Can we just take a second? He literally came off the backboard for an off the backboard pass and said, "I might be able to doomsday dish this."
You know, it's the All-Star match. They're just trying to have some fun and hit some crazy shots for us. Give us a very entertaining series tonight.
Ah, dude, if they had clip of the week going, I don't. That would have like I don't. I've seen far higher tiers not even consider that as an option. Wow. Sorry, go ahead.
Just trying to have fun. I'm just saying they're trying to have fun and give us a show at the same time, which works for us as that barely misses onto the post. Oh man,
that is brutal. Grobber's gonna be able to slot this.
Mayer with the save.
Clutch saves yet again. We saw it in the finals. We're seeing it here in the All-Star game. Mayer saying, "Not today. I am here. I am going to prevent the unimaginable." Grobber had an incredible angle on that, like busted the protractor out. Oh man, if Mayer was, if Mayer was there, he would say that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, just unfortunately they were fighting backwards and couldn't, set their feet just right as Dalton was in the front post and Lucas was trying to keep their pressure on. NJ just saw right through him and put it into the net.
Well, the 4-2 is out the window, Dondo, as now Solar's up 3-2. The potential series clinching game could be next.
With the series, not with the series, but with the game like this one, that was a very, very close series. I went to OT 1-0, lots of saves, lots of shots. If it consistently goes this way, it's going to be a back and forth match. I feel like maybe Lunar, if they could find their groove again, could put this to 3-3 and we can have the game 7 and have an amazing challenger series. But we'll just have to see if they can step up to the plate and, continue to play like they have been throughout the night.
For sure. We are looking, and I do want to point out before we get into this game 6, neither side had a player above 400 points. Far more even distribution across the board of who's pulling their weight, which is kind of wild because the last 3 games have had at least one player with 600 points, carrying their team and doing everything they can. Dalton had an incredible match. NJ at 111 had, I believe, a 700-point game. So for sure, we're definitely seeing some solid play here that's looking a little bit more team-oriented that Chem finally might be setting in, but we'll see how these two teams reactuate going into Game 6. We get a kickoff here from Dalton and Levi Bullrush. Gets the kick. Ooh, it's going to be a split. Nope, Mayer is there for the read. They've already centered it. Nobody's there for the shot, though. So that falls lifelessly into the corner and away from any... Oh, no! Unfortunate. That's going to go in. Grobber read that touch, used all of the power that was pushed into him from Lucas RL and shoved it the length of the pitch. That's a little closer I thought it was going to be, Dondo. I actually thought that was going to be a little more centered, but holy cow, that is unfortunate for Lucas.
It's just one of those plays, especially in Challenger where rotations might not be the most solid. A 50 like that could slip through the cracks and, cause an opposition, as Mayer may get it on the same side, but it's a little bit wide. Oh man, I thought it was going to be 1-1 already. It was going to be a lot more of a close match than it was last game. As Dalton gets a 50 on their half, Mayer is going to probably take control. No, he booms it, maybe give his teammates some time to recover. NJ is going to take control as Lucas bangs it off the backboard, and Dalton just misses the shot. It's a little bit wide, and I feel like they're coming out the gates a lot quicker this game, trying to make as many shots as possible. They don't want it to go to overtime again, because both of these teams are very deadly. It's just, once again, the play style keeps changing, boss.
For sure, and especially with Solar being up 1 goal, they don't want to take their foot off the gas. They want to keep putting shots on and potentially go up by 2. Every bit of pressure you can stack on top of your opposition is going to be very well received for the team that's in the lead. So Mayor, I guess the Lunar side in general, is going to need to figure out a way to counterattack quickly to equalize this game. Instead, though, we see Levi Ballrush pop that high. Dalton slaps it forward. Mayor's going to put this off the backboard. No, cannot quite get the touch, so instead possession is in favor of Solar. Grobber passes up to Levi. Grobber does not get the bump on the goalie, and instead NJ111 splits the 50 with Dalton, kills it, carries into the corner. This is going to be high. No! Grobber was not ready for NJ111's extra touch. That's unfortunate, Dondo. They looked like it was going to be an incredible team play, but I don't even think they were expecting their own team to just be that good.
Once again, consistency is not the strongest attribute in Challenger players. So sometimes you're like, especially with teammates, or not necessarily teammates, but with players that aren't your teammates, you don't know their skill level and their consistency to get certain things off. Excuse me. So it's kind of hard to trust people you haven't even played with all season. That's kind of why I thought Mayor and Dalton would have an edge in this match, but they have been proven me wrong, as Solar is up 3-2. NJ is going to take this down the field, though. Mayor is going to shadow, but gets a clear. Levi with the shot. Mayor with almost let that in. It's just I feel. Go ahead, sorry.
No, sorry. I was going to say, if for some reason this Lunar side is able to figure things out, we're going to be able to go back to 2 minutes and 12 seconds left in Game 6 and say Mayor's save might have actually been the turning of the tides, and we already see 10 seconds later, Mayor gets the deep shot touch, equalizes the score, and we're looking at potentially a shift in momentum. I'm not going to lie, that save by Mayor was as clutch as you could ask of any player, let alone somebody who's, quite frankly, riding with people they've never played with before, and, just trying to squeak out incredible games against incredible competition.
Yeah, this series, once again, it's just going to show how close these players are in skill level. It's just been going back and forth all night. With Lunar, once they found their stride, we're a little bit more dominant in games 3 and 4, but Solar has stepped up to, counteract that, and they have been giving us a show as well. With the series being so tight, you could say that Lunar with the momentum from the last goal may take it this game, but it's kind of hard to tell at this moment.
Oh.
It was a close one, as it was just in front of the net, but they did get the clear. Unfortunate double touch, but maybe Lucas. Dalton will take control, possibly get a team play going, and 2 demos from the Solar side. It's once again, it seems like they might get a play going, but both sides are very good at stopping that momentum.
Mayor wins such a strong 50. Dalton elevates. That's high. Mayor slots it top right. Oh my goodness, the give and go from the Penne Patrol, absolutely powering through this defense. Incredible teamwork. That's the chemistry we've been looking for, and we're finally seeing it really come alive here in Game 6. NJ, Lucas split the 50. That bounce is high. That's still high. Mayor's going to have to elevate quickly. Might be able to get the second touch here. No, but Levi has not left NJ in a good spot. This went center. Dalton gets it, but it's swatted away. All 3 of Lunar's people are in the front third. They need to get back for defense. No, the pitch! NJ equalizes it 2-2.
That's just one of those unfortunate things where Mayor knows he has to try to do something to give Dalton a little bit more time, but unfortunately he gets the pitch. As he just said, he has 3 goals right now.
That's so unfortunate.
He was just trying to keep the pressure up, give his teammates a little bit more time, but it was an unfortunate pinch. As we're going to see, Solar's going to keep the possession, but just as I say that, Mayor clears it onto the other end. Mayor tries to go for a bump, and Grobber recovers to get that save on the goal line. hopefully cinching this overtime, and we will have another close match that maybe take us into Game 7. I say that as Lucas gets a shot and scores!
Bro's getting all of his caster curses in for his first ever series, just throwing it in favor of Lunar here. I was kind of shook. I thought the mistouch there, because Dalton looked for that redirect touch to put it center, didn't get it, and I was like, oh, okay, that might have been, we're going OT, that might have been a missed opportunity. I did not expect Lucas, who's been kind of quiet all game, to pop in and say, hey, I may have not done much this game, but I'll take Game 6. Let's go Game 7.
And as Levi just said, he has 0 goals in this series, so maybe he has something to prove on this Game 7. We'll see if Levi can pop off and get some goals in for his All-Star debut. Not his debut, but his All-Star match.
Oh my, I do love to see neither side is really talking any trash, which is kind of wild for RSC, not gonna lie. But both of these sides, being absolutely adorable, hanging out, just having a good time. So I won't bore everybody with the details as we look over the stats once more. We're just gonna roll right into match number 7. Going the distance in the series, we are going to see a kickoff potentially for the whole shebang coming from Mayer and Grobber. And Dondo, why don't you go ahead and get us kicked off here?
Alrighty. Like you just said, it's going to be a kickoff with Grobber and Mayer as it goes over to Grobber on the blue half. But Lucas is going to try to get a play going. He has 0 boost, so he can't do much with it. Dalton's going to get a pass midfield to Mayer for a possible shot, and it's just a little bit weak, so they are able to get that save. Levi is going to take control of this, probably get a pass to NJ, but they get stopped by the blue team, or by the Lunar side. I don't know why I said blue team. But Lucas is going to get this clear. He's going to get it mid possibly, but NJ clears it into the corner. Once again, these teams are just showing that they are all-stars for a reason. They are not going to give up. Hopefully they're not going to give up easy goals, but they have, they have in the past. As Lucas possibly gets a pass, no. It's just going to be tight, boss. At this moment, are you going for one team over the other, or is it kind of a toss-up right now?
It's a total toss-up. It could be a flip of the coin. Both sides are struggling to take their shots and not really able to put a lot of power behind it, but I think it's the, that all-star jitters getting to them. They're right there on the cusp of victory, and they know what's on the line, so they are just kind of struggling to find their footing. Levi, though, sends it deep. This is going to go high off the backboard and potentially center. Instead, there's a demo. NJ11 deleted. Levi passes it. Grobber's there. That's high. Levi goes up. No, fakes it. Immediately descends. They're going to try and push this again. NJ's there. Off the backboard. Dropping down. Grobber is there. Unable to put the angle on net. Instead, Dalton's got control. That centers for Mayer. Mayer gets the lift touch. They might be able to beat. No, they cannot. NJ clears it away, and with 3 minutes left, there's so much Rocket League left to be played, but quite frankly, that's a shot.
The caster curse strikes again.
Buddy, that was such a slick lift. The fact that they were able to squeeze it past one with the off the backboard touch, and then before the second can get there, they slot it in. That is what you want. That is the kind of control you expect out of a player who's not only doing, everything they can to develop their offensive skills, but is really developing and getting ready to make the leap for rival or vet, where you're going to, see possession come in hand far more often.
Yeah, unless you're in numbers, most of us players are kept in the dark on who's going where. But with Lucas's stats, it is very likely that he could go to rival this season, as he almost gets a pinch goal in. It's just a little bit wide. So
I had to, bro. I'm sorry, I had to interrupt you with that, bro.
No, you're good. But a lot of these players might be in rival next season. If anything, it's a show match for the rival scouts that if they want anybody on their teams next season.
I think
a lot of. Go ahead.
Sorry, I don't know what the percentage is for players, but I'm pretty sure if you're above a 70 RPV, you've got a really solid chance at being promoted. So we'll probably see all of these guys in rival next season in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, whether that be, as I started talking, Grobber just slots it in with the pass from NJ. Once again, this tight match 1-1 can go either way. Both teams are just trying to edge out the other to hopefully take this series away. I honestly, after that goal, I don't even want to. I can't finish my thought. But these players are just going at it, and they could be great aspects on anybody's team, whether that be in rival or Chally, as NJ slots it again with the pass from Levi. Levi
not just
may not be.
Levi threw that reverse, let it pop off the roof, and just extend the play. That is insanely well done.
Levi may not have a goal yet, but he is getting some really good passes right now.
Ooh, opportunity for Dalton. It's swatted away by Grobber. NJ puts it center, and you would have thought Mayer might have been able to contest that, but Mayer and Lucas, a little bit of miscommunication, and Levi
finally gets his
swats
goal.
it with a double touch. He is no longer goalless, but that is devastating for Lunar, who is now down 2 with 1:46 left to play.
Once again, they're fighting an uphill battle, but with 1:46 left, they definitely can, from what we have seen tonight, get those 2 goals, possibly 3 to win the series. But once again, I'm not gonna, knock on wood, cast or curse that too early, as we're gonna see Lucas try to take control of it in their corner. Unfortunately, pops it a little bit too far away from him, so he can't do anything with it. Grobber with the pass off the backboard and a double commit from the Solar side. We're gonna see if Lunar can take advantage of it, but it seems like Grobber with a well-placed 50 is able to let his teammates get back in time. As there's a possible goal, but once again, I'm not sure who that player was. Maybe it was Levi that cleared it to their corner, as Lucas tried to get the 50, but just cannot convert right now. And they are now fighting on their back feet. Can they get the save? And Solar got another goal. Levi with his second in the series. It's not looking too good for Lunar right now.
My man jinxed himself coming into the match. Levi literally said, I have no goals in this series. That wasn't a, hey, haha, laugh at me. That's a prelude that says, hey, by the way, all of my goals are coming in this game. Just a heads up. 2 goals already for Levi. Puts them up in a very, very nice spot. Not to mention that 1 assist their points responsible for, already looking at 3, is just tough. And with being a 3-goal deficit, I don't know if there's going to be much that this Lunar side can do to really climb out of that pit. 40 seconds ticking away slowly, 1 second at a time here. Mayer tries to get it past the defense, but Levi is able to chip shot this. That's going to kill a lot of time. With only 30 seconds left, Dondo, this looks like it's in the books. Solar is going to be your all-star champion, and we're going to have to start talking about MVP. Who's walking away with your MVP for your Solar All-Star?
It's very hard to say, just because it has been so back and forth this whole series. Grobber, on the beginning half of the series, was the top of their team, showing that, he can fill Date's shoes as they take this series, a very well-fought series. Levi maybe scored his first 2 goals. So I would say probably between Grobber and NJ on the Solar end. Maybe I can use a little bit of help from you to kind of decide, the All-Star. Or the MVP, sorry.
You know what? I'm just going to say it. There's a lot of mental that comes into it, a lot to prove when you're originally not voted into the All-Star selection, but you are getting to step in and sub in and play. So I've got to pick Grobber. Not only did they come in with the mental of a mountain to climb, they came in and said, hey, these first 2 games are mine. And then they didn't drop off. Like, even this game, they still pulled out 334 points, 2 shots, 1 goal, really helping their team. 1 save there as well. They've been a defensive stalwart all series. So, for sure, if I'm going to pick an all-star game MVP for Chally, it's got to be Grobber for me.
Yeah, Grobber definitely showed out with excuse me. He definitely showed out with the support of one of the champions this season, NJ, and a very solid player, Levi. So, I'll go ahead and concede with you that Grobber will be the All-Star MVP for me as well.
For sure. And that wraps up our Chally All-Star matchup here. So
I don't really have a schedule for everybody who's been watching. I don't know what the next series is going to be or what the next tier is going to be. I know Enigma has been heading that up, kind of squaring that away. So we'll look to see what kind of event updates we get from him. Can't even speak. Holy cow. Heap. No, but let's talk a little bit about the upcoming dates that are going to be on the listing here. Let me get that pulled up. I believe did they say these are set in stone, or are these still just kind of temporary for the time being?
I think they're temporary because we were supposed to have the AMI All-Star match at 9, but they weren't able to get that scheduled. So I feel like these are very.
Oh,
rough
I meant
times.
for like the combine dates and stuff like that, because
The combine
those are
dates
like
set in stone.
okay, good. So for everybody who's been tuning in, signups close. Looks like, did they really put January 2nd? That is before preseason still, so that's still a lot of time. Combines are going to be opening up on December 11th, going through every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Obviously taking a break off, so we're not going through the Christmas week. Dondo just owned gold. What a great player. I know nobody can see this 1v1, but it's happening. But regular season gets kicked off on 129. Signups close on the 2nd of January. So if you're looking to play for season 19, make sure you're getting registered, getting that going. You don't want to be left out of the great action we're going to be having. There's a lot of upcoming changes that are really solid for the league that it's going to make this probably one of the best seasons we've had in a long time. Not only are we having a massive facelift for our media presentation, we're also having some possible new additions to what we have in events that are non-Rocket League based. We might see some more, maybe some Among Us nights, maybe some Uno nights, and for sure we're gonna have to make sure those are casted as well. But for everyone who's tuned in, my name is Boss Radala. I've had Mr. Dondo on the desk with me. Dondo, do you have any last words before we throw this to our producer Tasley and call it a night?
I will just say for any of the returning players to make sure to if you're an FA, make sure to hit those combines. That's the best way to get noticed by teams, by organizations, and just have some fun. This league is a very fun place to be, and I want everybody to have as much fun as they possibly can.
Or sure, and great call out there. But for everybody who's tuned in, have a good night. We will catch you whenever that is, because we once again don't know the schedule. So we'll let you know. Have a good night.